Okay, well, the camera froze. Don't know why that happened. Just happened. So it's the nature of the beast. And we're going to the top of the third inning. Sorry, the top of the fourth inning. And Harvey just struck out Freddie Freeman. And we go to the top of the fourth. It's for the Mets is going to be Travis d'Arnaud leading off against Matt Whistler. Hopefully, we don't have any more issues. Great. All right, statistician, sounds good. So Travis d'Arnaud, here's the pitch from Whistler. It's 2-4. It's a ground ball hit right at the shortstop eye bar. Throws him out, one away. Diaza now. Diaza walked in his last at bat. He's a part-time player for the Mets. Didn't bat very well in 2016. Batted only 200, but he's plays all positions in the outfield and hit 9 doubles and 6 home runs. So he's used as a pinch hitter many times. Excuse me. And it's a 6-11, so that's going to be off Whistler's card. And 11 is a fly ball right field. X. The right fielder is Markakis. He's a 2. He rolled a 3. And that's a ball that Markakis drops. And hustling into second is going to be Diaza. So an error on Markakis, a 2-base error. And 1 out, and Diaz on at second base. So it's going to be Harvey now. Say 3-12, and that's going to be a fly ball left field. Hustling over to get it is Conforto, makes the catch, gets it in quickly. 2 outs. And Curtis Granderson. Granderson is 0 for 2. Curtis Granderson was played, I think, 4 or 5 years with the Mets. He was traded last year towards the end of the season to the Dodgers. He's notorious for having a decent on-base percentage. Not a very good batting average, but actually in 2016 he batted .237 with 24 doubles, 5 triples, and 30 home runs. Always got the power. Usually bats at the top of the order, so he doesn't drive in many runs because of that. But his on-base percentage that year was .335, almost 100 points higher than his batting average, and it's usually that way. He gets a lot of walks, so he does have a high on-base percentage, which that's why they place him up in the top of the order. Okay, so it's going to be Curtis Granderson. 2 outs. Here's Whistler. It's going to be off Granderson's credit. 3-7. That's ball 4. So it's going to be first and second with 2 outs now. And then Cabrera for 2. He doubled in his last at bat. He's one of the more consistent batters for the Mets this season. Cabrera batted .280 with 30 doubles, 1 triple, and 23 home runs. I thought that to be an outstanding year for a shortstop that is really under the radar. And it's going to be off Cabrera's card, but doesn't look like a hit number. It's a 111. And that's going to be a ground ball chopped back to the pitcher, and Whistler feels his position and throws out Cabrera for the 3rd out. The Mets leave 2, and in the top of the 4th, score none. We go to the bottom of the 4th now. It's 3-1 Mets. You just said something, Al, and I missed it, bud. Oh, sorry. I felt I should tell you about the picture I once did. A boxing show. Mic wasn't working and nobody told me, LOL, and that stunk. That's right. What you said something about something and I missed it. I tried to read it quick and I missed it. It went off the screen. Anyway, if you want to repeat that, the prior thing that you said off before that nobody told you about. Okay, it's going to be Harvey facing the bottom, the middle of the order. Markakis, Garcia, and Przinski. So here's the pitch from Harvey to Nick Markakis. Markakis singled his last at bat, 6-7. That's a ground ball to the second baseman. That's Walker at second base for the Mets, and he is a 3, and we rolled a 6. And that's going to be an out. So Walker throws out Markakis for the 1st out. And Adonis Garcia, he reached on an error by the shortstop Johnson. 1-3, and that's a pop-up to the left side. And Cabrera squeezes it. 2 away. A.J. Przinsky. I think he's retired now, A.J. Przinsky. 2-6, and that's a ground ball hit right at Loney. Loney flips to Harvey covering for the 3rd out. And at the end of 4 innings of play, it's 3-1 Mets. Go to the top of the 5th. It's going to be Loney leading off for the Mets. Now, Loney was a midseason pickup after Lucas Duda went down. Loney was still a free agent at that time. And Loney is a former Dodger and then a former Tampa Bay, I was going to say Buccaneer, Tampa Bay Ray. 4-3, so this is going to be off Whistler's card. 4-3 is a ground ball to Freeman. Freeman takes it himself. 1 away. Walker next. Walker singled and walked, scored on an error by Bonifacio. That's going to be a 1-6. A 1-6 is lifted to deep center field, and back goes Enciarte to the track, to the fence. He looks up, and it's gone. Walker, Neil Walker, gets a hold of one here in the top of the 5th and gives the Mets a 4-1 lead. Neil Walker had a pretty good power season, batted .282 with 23 home runs and 400 bats. So he was in line to hit about 33 home runs, or maybe more, 34 home runs, had he played the whole season. So there's 1 out, top of the 5th inning, and it's 4-1 Mets. It's going to be Kelly Johnson. Kelly Johnson doubled. I'm sorry, Kelly Johnson flew out and then singled. Drove in a run in the 3rd inning. So it's a 2-7. A 2-7 is a line drive base hit for Kelly Johnson, his 2nd hit of the game. He's 2 for 3 now. Michael Conforto is 1 for 2. He doubled and struck out. So there's action in the Brave bullpen. 2-10, and that's a ball 4. Walk for Conforto. That sends Johnson over to 2nd. Probably only 1 more batter for Whistler. See if we can get out of this so we don't have to go through the old rigmarole. He's due up in the next inning, so then we can pull him there for a pinch hitter. 5-2. It's going to be off Whistler's card. 5-2 is a pop-up. And that's going to be Freeman calling for it. That's a 2nd out. Runners 1st and 2nd here. 4-1 Mets. We don't want this game to get away from the Braves. De Aza, not much of a hitter. The question is, can Whistler get De Aza out? Here's the pitch. It's a 2-3, and that's ball 4. So the bases are loaded now, and it's Harvey. So let's tally up. Gave up 1 hit, 2 hits, 3 hits, 4 hits, 5 hits, 6 hits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 hits. And he's walked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he's done. I cannot justify keeping him in any longer. And who was brought in? Alvarez, Johnson, and Vizcaino. Let's see if we can find Alvarez. He fractured a bone in his wrist, so they think, and he's got a cast on, full-arm cast. So he basically it's in the beginning of his varsity season. So hopefully they're trying to get him to come back for playoffs. And that's where we stand right now. So he's had the cast on for a couple of days. He's feeling uncomfortable. So I just got a call from the doctor's office about that. So I'm looking for a pitcher now, Alvarez and Vizcaino. Now, you know what? I'm going to look up Alvarez. There's pitcher hitting cards here, which I have to, I'm going to bring in Alvarez. But I just have to look up his stats and pull a card for Alvarez. Let me grab his stats very quickly. And you could say, hey, why not just bring in any pitcher, right? Alvarez, MLB. Let's look at Alvarez MLB. Get the sound going in. Alvarez. I think it was Baltimore, Atlanta. Oh, Jose Alvarez. You know, that's an old guy. It's probably Pedro Alvarez. Let's see. So it's not Pedro Alvarez. Plus, I don't think he's the pitcher. Dario Alvarez. He's another player. He's a pitcher. He's a lefty. And played with Atlanta. Okay. And he played with Texas and Atlanta, so he should have, perhaps he has a card with Texas, because the second, and let's look for that. Let's see, but I doubt he's going to have a card with Texas at all. Let's look for Texas. Alvarez. Okay, I found Texas. And let's see if Alvarez is here. I don't think so, but I'll always grab a card for Alvarez. Texas again. No Alvarez. That's the third page for Texas, and that's all for Texas. 3 pages. So we're going to grab a card, pitching card. And Alvarez, it's going to make it really simple. Alvarez had a 3 ERA and allowed 3 home runs. So we're going to get somebody who has about a 3 ERA. Let's see. And you can see these cards here, right? And you can get those for, I think, $2. They give you these cards. And they have stats on them, but no names. So you can write in guys that you're missing and so on. This is a great way to complete your roster when you're trying to do a replay using the same guys. Power. Okay. I only have hitters here. Those are my pitcher cards. So that's strange. I only have, is there any batting? Oh, pitching record. I do have pitchers. Okay, wait a second. I do have some pitchers in here. I thought I did have pitchers, but I have mostly batting records. Batting. I don't know what I did with my pitching set. I have 1 pitcher. Overall effectiveness is average. And that's what we're going to use. Okay, so Alvarez comes in. And Alvarez. And he's going to pitch to Harvey. And he's going to stay in to pitch to Granderson and Loney. Whistler's done for the day. I got interrupted, guys, so that's why everybody scooted. Got interrupted. I don't know that anybody knows I'm back on. And it's going to be Harvey with the bases loaded. Here's the pitch from Alvarez. It's a 1-7, and that's a strikeout. That's the third out. The Mets leave the bases loaded. They score 1 run here in the top of the 5th and now lead it 4-1. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Hey there, guys. Somebody's back. Okay, yeah, I got interrupted with a phone call I had to take. It was, and I actually, in the first part of the broadcast, I explained what the phone call was. It was from a doctor's office, and I had to take that call. So, in the bottom of the 5th, I'm doing fine. My son's got some cast issues. He fractured his wrist in a baseball game. Ibar So he's got a full arm cast for a fractured bone in his wrist. They're trying to get him to heal as fast as possible to maybe get him back before the playoffs. If they get to the playoffs, they usually do. So he's a varsity shortstop, and in his second year. So we're going to see what's up with that injury, see if he can heal quick enough to get back. I know that Freddie Freeman had a wrist injury, and he was back swinging the bat in about 6 weeks, which was mind-boggling to me. He got hit with a pitch, a fastball, I guess it would be, on the wrist when he was swinging, and he broke a bone in his wrist, and he was back, and he was taking his wax about 6-7 weeks later, like new. So anyway, okay, Ibar. Here's Harvey to Ibar. Ibar is 0 for 1. He hit into a double play. And it's going to be 210 off Ibar's card, and that's a ground ball to Loney at first. Takes it unassisted. 1 away. Bonifacio. He's a part-time player who we had to make up a card for. And I was talking about these cards that you get from Strat that you can kind of use. They have just the stats on them, and you kind of line the actual player that may have played in just a few games or had 40, 50 at bats, but happened to play in a game that you want to recreate or replay. So you can use that. It's about $1.99, and you get a stack of pitcher and batting cards that are just blank. They have the stats on them, and you can just put names. As you can see, I wrote his name in on a little piece of a Post-it, and I just stuck it on there. So I don't write on the cards, because since they're in a sleeve, I just put the little Post-it on there, and that's Emilio Bonifacio. And I'm going to buy some extra cards to have them, and then I'll be able to kind of leave that there. So it's a 3-2, and that's a lined and caught by the third baseman Johnson for the second out. So Harvey's retired 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in a row, and it's going to be the catcher's, the pitch was originally the pitcher's spot, but it was filled in when we pulled a double switch, which I failed to mention. And it's going to be the catcher batting Tyler Flowers. Tyler Flowers, the catcher, is a 3 catcher, and he's coming to bat now for Whistler, who's out of the game. And here's the pitch from Harvey. It's a 6-8, and that ball is lined in the gap for, it's rolling to the wall, cut off quickly by the center fielder Deaza. He gets it in, but Flowers is on with a stand-up double. 2 outs. And Flowers, Tyler Flowers, who's a heck of a hitting catcher, batted .270 with 18 doubles, 0 triples, 8 home runs. Even had a good season last year. Oh, wrong place. Okay. So I had a lot of interruptions. I had my camera freeze in this game. I had a phone call. A lot of stuff is going on. So it's going to be 5-4. And that's going to be swung on and bounced to the third baseman, Johnson. Johnson is a 3. We're going to have to look at a 5. And a 5 is going to be an out at first base. Gets him by a step for the third out. So at the end of 5 innings of play, it's Mets 4 and the Braves 1. We go to the top of the 6th. It's going to be the top of the order for the Mets. And it's going to be Granderson. And the pitcher on the mound is Alvarez. I'll actually... His name is Dario Alvarez. So I'm going to put him in there. Dario Alvarez. A lefty. He played with both the Braves and Texas. Didn't play very much with either team. There we go. Dario Alvarez had a 3 ERA. So we created a quick, and this is an average. ERA average, so I don't know what that means, but it's close enough. All right, so it's going to be Curtis Granderson. Here's the pitch from Granderson, a 2-4. That's a walk, so Granderson is on with a walk. Top of the 6th inning, 4-1 Mets. Granderson's on first base. A 1-3. It's a ground ball hit right at the second baseman, Peterson, who flips to the shortstop, Ibar, back to Freeman, and it's a 4-6-3 double play. 2 outs now, and it's James Loney. So Cabrera hits into a double play. Hit that on the nose, but right at the second baseman. And it's 5-6. It's going to be off Alvarez. And that ball is lined and caught by Freeman for the 3rd out. And that's going to be the end of 5.5, and we go to the bottom of the 6th. 4-1 Mets. In the bottom of the 6th, Harvey is going to face Inciarte, Freeman, and Markakis. Say 2-8. It's a lined and caught by the second baseman, Walker. 1 away. Freeman now. Say 3-4. That's a strikeout. Swing and a miss by Freeman. That's Harvey's 2nd strikeout of the game. Doesn't have the fastball that he once had. But he's going to definitely be forced to learn how to pitch without it. And Markakis, 5-6. Say walk, ball 4. Next is Adonis Garcia. Adonis Garcia is 0 for 2. Here's the pitch. 4-10. And it's a ground ball hit at the shortstop. Cabrera's a 2. Cabrera's a 2. We rolled a 13. And that's an out. Cabrera goes for the force at second. And the 3rd out. So after 6, we'll go to the top of the 7th. 4-1 Mets. The Mets are going to have Walker, Johnson, and Conforto. Here's the pitch from Alvarez. Say 3-3. 3-3 is a ground ball hit at Jace Peterson. Peterson for the out. 1 down. Pitch to Johnson. A 4-4. That's a strikeout. Kelly Johnson, who's 2 for 3. He's 2 for 4 now with that strikeout. And Michael Conforto. It's a 2-2. That's a fly ball lifted to center. Inciarte there for the 3rd out. So 3 up, 3 down for Alvarez. And we go to the bottom of the 7th. 4-1 Mets. In the bottom of the 7th, it's going to be Harvey, the Dark Knight, facing the pitcher spot, Ibar and Bonifacio. Can get a pinch hitter. Frank Coor is going to come in. He's the pinch hitter extraordinaire for the Braves in 2016. Then we're going to get a new pitcher. It's going to be Johnson. Get Johnson in here. Frank Coor. And then Jim Johnson. All right, we got it all set up. It's going to be a pinch hitter for Alvarez. It's going to be Frank Core. Bottom of the 7th. Here's the pitch from Harvey. Let's see what we did with Frank Core. There he is. Frank Core's in place now. Here's the pitch from Harvey. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Harvey's 3rd strikeout of the game. It's going to be Ibar. Ibar is 0 for 2 on the day. Grounded out twice, once into a double play. Here's the pitch. It's going to be a 4-8. 4-8 is hit up the middle and through to center field for a base hit, so Ibar gets a single. And now it's Emilio Bonifacio who's 0 for 2. And it's a 5-9. A 5-9 is a ground ball. Chopped slow to second base. Running in is second baseman Walker and gets him by a step. Over to second goes Ibar. 2 away now. And it's Tyler Flowers. Tyler Flowers stroked a double in his first at bat of the game. He came in to catch in a double switch. Say 1-7, and that's a swing and a miss, strike 3, 4th strikeout for Harvey. So that's the end of the 7th, and the Braves leave 1, score none. Score is still 4-1 Mets. We go to the top of the 8th. And for the Mets, it's going to be d'Arnaud, De Aza, and Harvey pitching, facing Jim Johnson. Jim Johnson had 2 wins, 6 losses, 3.06 ERA, 20 saves in 65 innings pitched, as you can see there with the glare. So he will be facing Travis d'Arnaud. D'Arnaud is 0 for 3. That's a 5-7, and that's lined and falls in there. Base hit for d'Arnaud. He's on first with a single. It's going to be De Aza. 1-4. It's a hard hit ground ball right at the pitcher. He turns, hits the shortstop, back to first. It's a 1-6-3 double play, 2 outs. Nice defense by Jim Johnson. And it's going to be Matt Harvey. So off Johnson's card, and that's hit up the middle and through for a base hit. Second hit of the inning for the Mets, and Harvey's on at first. He's 1 for 4 now. And it's going to be Curtis Granderson. Here's the pitch. And it's off Johnson's card. It's a 4-6, and it's a fly ball lifted deep center field. Back goes the center fielder, Enciarte, to the track, to the fence, and makes the catch right up against the fence. He was backing up. That ball kept carrying. And it's a fly out to the center fielder for the 3rd out. Mets failed to score. They leave 1 runner on. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. It's 4-1 Mets. In the bottom of the 8th inning, Matt Harvey's still on the mound for the Mets. There is action in the Met bullpen. We're going to see the leadoff batter, Jace Peterson. Jace Peterson is 1 for 3 on the day. Harvey looks in for the sign and the pitch. It's a 1-6, and that's a walk, ball 4. That's going to be 1, 2, 3. 3 walks in the game for Harvey. Harvey struck out 4. Giving up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits. He's going to be facing Ender Enciarte. So we have action in the Mets bullpen. It's a 6-10. A 6-10 is a fly ball center field. A few steps back goes De Aza, makes the catch for the first out. Freddie Freeman now. The pitch. And swung and missed. Freddie Freeman strikes out. His third strikeout of the game. He's 0 for 4 now. It's the fifth strikeout for Harvey. Second out of the inning. Nick Markakis. A 3-12. And that's a ground ball. Hit right at the third baseman Johnson across the diamond for the third out. So after allowing the walk, Harvey gets 3 consecutive batters here in the bottom of the 8th. We go to the top of the 9th. 4-1 Mets. In the top of the 9th, it's going to be Cabrera. As Drubel is 0 for 3. As Drubel is 1 for 4. And Johnson is still in there for the Braves. This is his second inning. Here goes the pitch to Cabrera. 2-5, and it's swung on and lined and caught by Chase Peterson. So Cabrera hit that on the nose, but it's an out in the books. James Loney. Loney is 0 for 4. The pitch from Johnson. 5-3. It's a ground ball hit right at Freeman. Freeman's a 2. And that ball gets by him. Wait. No, he gets it, he grabs it, and he flips to the pitcher covering for out number 2. Great play. I looked like it got by him, but no, it was underneath him. And he flipped it to Johnson covering the bag. And Johnson is really showing off his fielding skills. First with that double play ball that he started, and now covering the bag. Made a very athletic catch of a flip that wasn't right on target by Freeman. And 2 outs now. We go to Walker. Neil Walker. Here's the pitch from Jim Johnson. It's going to be a 2-9. And that ball is swung on and missed for out, strike 3, out number 3. And that is the first strikeout by Johnson. 3 up, 3 down here in the top of the 9th. We go to the bottom of the 9th. And we're going to see Familia coming in. The Mets closer had 51 saves in 2016. Juris Familia. And Juris Familia, let's take a quick look at his card. He was 3-4 with a 2.55 ERA and 51 saves in 78 innings. So he was the go-to guy. And Familia is going to pitch to Garcia, a pinch hitter, and Ibar. And we're going to take a quick look and see who's going to pinch hit. And it's going to be Smith. We're going to get Smith to pinch hit. He should still be around. I mean, he played the last time these two teams played, so he should still be around, Malik Smith. But he's going to pinch hit. For not Alvarez, but Johnson, when it's the time. Right now, it's going to be Adonis Garcia. Adonis Garcia is 0 for 3. Here's the pitch from Familia. It's a 1-6. A 1-6 is a ground ball hit at Asdrubal. Asdrubal gets rid of it quickly. 1 away. Now it's going to be Smith as a pinch hitter. Here's a pitch to Smith. 3-7. That's a walk. So Smith walks. He's on in first. Why did that happen? Wait a second. Okay. It's going to be Ibar. Eric Ibar had quite a season last year. Here's the pitch to Ibar. 6-9. 6-9 is a swing and a miss. Strike 3. 2 outs now. Mets are 1 out away from winning this game. It'll be game number 39. Win number 39. Game number 71 we're playing today. And they'll be 39 and 32 if they can get this last out. Let's see what happens. They're winning 4-1. Bonifacio. Here's the pitch from Juris Familia. It's a 6-9. A 6-9 is a swing and a miss, strike 3. So Familia strikes out 2, and the Mets win it by a score of 4-1. Familia gets a save, pitches 1 inning. Harvey pitched 8, got the victory. So Harvey gets the win. And Familia gets the save. The Mets win their, what did I say it was? Their 39th game of the season. They're 39 and 32 now. That's 7 games above 500. And the loss goes to Whistler, who didn't pitch all that bad. I mean, well, gave up 6 hits and 5 walks. So you can't say he pitched very well either. But that's the ball game. Harvey the victory, gives up only 1 run in 8 innings. And the run scored in the second on a single by Brzezinski. And that's all for this game that kind of was interrupted so many times. And we finish it up. So take care. Combat Painter signing off. Should have another game later. Bye now.